What's going on, fellas? It's your boy Deadly Crypto. We're going to be bringing you another lesson today about candlesticks. So, I want you guys to develop on your understanding of candlestick formations. You got to understand, though, these formations alone could mean anything. Now, we're just looking at philosophies on how we can trade them. Sometimes, in any of these situations that we're going to be looking at today, it can go against the grain. We're just looking at certain predictable circumstances and patterns that will enable us to make more profits as traders. So this one's going to be focused for our traders out there. If you want to get better at trading, you're not really a trader yet, this one's also for you. It's an introductory level lesson that's also sophisticated that you can adapt on. So we've also got some other lessons in the series. If you haven't watched those yet, that's okay. You can still watch this one without needing those. But if you watch all of the videos in the series, it's going to give you a really good understanding of the different opportunities that may arise in the market. It's kind of like how the weather people predict the weather. Actually, I don't know how they predict the weather. I've never been a meteorologist, but they look at, I would imagine they look at certain conditions that exist, and then based off of those conditions, they have observed some repeatable patterns when conditions arise. So it's kind of the same philosophy what we're going to be looking at here. Let me see who we got in the comments section. We're also going to be doing some Q&A at the end. So I'll be looking through the comments to see if anyone has any questions along the way. Just go ahead and feel free to ask a question anytime if you're not understanding something. But let me see what we got here, and we'll do some shout outs. Usman and Benson were the first people here. Shout out Benson, patiently waiting. Usman says, till waiting. Flick Doski says, gee, hello, Deadly. Greetings, and how are you doing today? I'm good, brother. So far, so good. Glad to be here with you guys, teaching you on another lesson. And one more question. There we go. Or one more comment, rather. John says, hey, Deadly. What up, my brother John? Good to see you again. Hope you guys are happy to see me as I'm happy to see y'all. I didn't rock the crown today because my hair just looked too good. So I wanted you guys to see how good my hair looked. But we're still the King Crypto. I got the crown right here just in case, I want to hold my title. But also, too, I don't like the way it does because I got the green screen behind me. So, sometimes it messes with the green screen back there. But anyway, let's get y'all educated. That's what we came to learn. About. Okay, so we're going to be starting here, and this chart is something we've been working with for, like I said, past few weeks on these sessions. So we talked a little about these pendants over here, some wedges as well. Those are my favorite patterns to trade, the most easily recognizable patterns to find in nature. So whenever we're looking through our chart patterns, higher highs and higher lows, we have to imagine all these lines are candlesticks. So if you've been following the series, you definitely understand that. But if not, these lines here represent candlesticks. So the candlesticks will make these moves and give us patterns simply based off of highs and lows. Like right here. I wasn't really even trying to show you guys Ondo. So we're looking at some other assets today. But just by drawing and connecting trend lines, we can see different shapes and formations sometimes. So if I come over to, well, they actually do have some kind of formation. But for example, we'll come over to Bitcoin real quick. And if I go into the 1 hour time frame and we just start connecting highs and lows. So if I try to draw a line across any of these points, this one's already going to be invalidated. So there's no structure there. This one could project out for a while. Oops, if I get it in the right spot. And this one also projects down right now, but this one might be broken in a minute. So just from these 2 points and these 2 points, we see we have a little bit of a wedge. And sometimes, like right now, we don't have a flagpole to act off of that. So it's just kind of a wedge. A flagpole would be a strong upward movement like this. But here we see after that strong upwards movement. So if we were right here, we don't really have a strong structure. There's something of a structure here, but it's not really a flag as traditionally as we would expect it to look. So just looking at different scenarios in live market price, because price is going to move forward, you can always do this. Always just connect highs and lows to see if it's forming one of these structures. And if it's forming one of these structures, we're going to be looking at trading it. So these are the most obvious structures to spot because all you have to do is connect high points and low points. Sometimes we have to use our eyeballs to look a little bit closer for things like inverse head and shoulders, cups and handles, double tops and bottoms, triple tops and bottoms, and these consolidations as well, depending upon how they occur. So give me 1 second here, guys. I got to mute the mic. I got to clear my nose, and I don't want you to hear this. So sorry. I have to, though. I have to. Okay, excuse me. We're live, so can't stop things like that from happening. But anyway, today we're going to be looking at head and shoulders. So I want you guys to look at these two here. We're going to be looking at an example of the head and shoulders pattern regular and inverse. So first, we're going to talk about the philosophies of these patterns. When we are looking here, we see the entry arrow, so the direction is pointing this way from left to right, because price develops from left to right on the candlesticks. So candlesticks will be forming, and here we're looking at a downtrend. We'll talk about one at a time. We'll start top to bottom. Here we're looking at a downtrend, and then we're looking at a low point being formed. Then we're seeing a high point being formed. It's part of the downtrend. There could be any other things going on down here, so we'll see just some different examples in a moment. And then from this point here, it comes down, creates another low, and then price is coming up. So on the second point, here we have a straight flat line. It can be sloped to some degree. It can be a little bit more down here, and it can be a little bit more up here, point number 4. For the basic template and understanding, we're just going to look at a solid flat line. So we see that is coming up where resistance was. And resistance, if it was a continued downtrend, we should see support resistance right here. But pressure got up over that. Buy pressure increased, and now we're seeing an equal high or a higher high. Those are the ones we want to see. But we could still see a lower high. Now, the next point that will give us the probability for a head and shoulders to play out is 0.5. So now this low point has to be higher than the previous low. Because if this low point comes down, it's just a downtrend, and there's no head and shoulders there. So if this low point forms lower than this one, we're invalidated right there. So this high can vary in some angles. But this has to be a higher low. And it has to be around the same slope as this one. Again, we can have varying angles here, but we want it to generally be equal here and above this high. So then we're looking for price to break. So this is going to be a reversal pattern. We're looking for price to reverse. And this is a little bit more dangerous when we're looking for reversal entries because we're going against the trend. But there are many different signs that could indicate to this, like coupled with EMA crosses or bullish, bearish divergence in different scenarios. But anyway, looking back at the philosophy of here, moving forward one more time, price is coming down, and then it started to halt. Buyers are starting to show support, and it's breaking that resistance line. So this is going to be the neckline. So you can see, I'm in the corner, I think, yeah. So you can see my head and shoulders. So here I come up, boom, and then I have a neckline or a head, and then here's my neckline, shoulder line, boom, shoulders come down. So this is what that is here. This is the neckline, and this is the neckline for the inverse. So we're looking for price to break that neckline, showing us that it's ready to move higher in the opposite direction. So again, we're just looking at the basic philosophy here before we move into actual candlesticks. Now, at any point, price gets over that line. What we want to see is some type of, it doesn't have to be a pullback at all. It could be just an aggressive move out, but we're looking for some type of pullback. So this part is speculative. We need that break to occur. And from there, we want to enter, look for our entry there. And we could go aggressive right there as soon as it breaks with our stop loss at the level of 5, the previous low, or right below that. So if price actually doesn't reverse and continues its downtrend, we'll be stopped out at that previous low point. It's a plausible stop loss. And if you want to wait for a retest, it'll be the same thing. You can enter here instead of going aggressive. However, sometimes on the retest, you might miss it. So, because there might not be a retest. So you get left behind. So we'll look at that too. But same thing, stop loss is going to be right there at that point. And now opposite, we're coming up here. This is going to be off of an uptrend. So uptrend goes up, reaches a high point, comes down, makes a low point. That's what trends do. Then comes up, makes another high point, because still that's what trends do. Now the next point comes down, and it can be higher or it can vary in this range. But we want to see it come down and create some type of neckline. So, like me, I could be slanted. I could be just chilling in my chair like this, and I'm still a head and shoulders, right? I'm just a slanted one. So we're going to look at some couple different options, but, I just want you to understand what it looks like and what it means when we're coming to that area. So when price is coming down here, we're seeing it's losing, buyers losing momentum. So then they come up and we see a lower high. So I don't know if I have one of those like on hand right now, but it's a lower high. So if it was a higher high, that'd be indicative that buyers are still in control and they're pushing the price into new highs. So it's an uptrend still. But when we see a lower high, it's indicative of a reversal. So that's why I want to try and get in there. And then we can place our short entry here with a stop loss above that level, 5. Same way it was here, just opposite. And we're going to try and target downwards based upon previous market structure, maybe the bottom of the penetration point, which we'll also take a look at. So basic philosophy there. I'm going to move into candlestick in a minute. I just want to take a flash into the comments and see where we're at. Just a bunch of people saying hi so far. Jonathan says hi. Shout out Jonathan. John says looking sharp. Thanks, brother. I appreciate that. Hentega says okay. Not sure what you said okay about. John says, can you break down higher highs and higher lows, lower highs, lower lows? Sure can. We'll do that in the candlesticks in a minute, right after we get through with this comments. And then Stone, I got one more comment, says, hi, please, how do you think about, there's a heart in the way. How do you think about Sora AI? Well, I haven't heard of the project, honestly, so I can't give you an informed opinion. But if you want to drop into the Discord and share me a link to the project, I'll do some research on it and let you know after I have time to review it. I definitely don't like speaking on things I don't know of. All right. So moving forward now, what we're going to be looking at here is John was asking higher highs, higher lows, and we're going to be talking about that too. So I'm coming into a situation here where, was it here that I was on? I lost my head and shoulders pattern. So give me 1 second there. Oh, I circled it. So there we go. Okay. All right. So I have a couple indicators here right now, but I'm not really going to turn them on for that talk. So let me get our pattern on. All right. So when we're seeing higher highs and higher lows, I'm going to have to move this because when I click on the chart, it's going to go away, but we'll use it again for a reference. So higher highs and higher lows are going to be when price is moving up, because we can see price comes up in different ways and makes different formations, consolidations, uptrends, downtrends, things like that. So higher highs and higher lows. Here we have a high point, high point, high point, high point, high point. These are ascending. And previously, we had some high points here, 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 here. So if we connect the lines here, sometimes we get perfect trend lines. Sometimes we get curved lines. So sometimes it's not perfect. So whenever we see our highs descending, that's a downtrend. When the highs and the lows are descending. So now we have to come look at the lows, 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 lows. So these are down, up, down, up, down, down, up, and here they start going up. So this is downtrend and then a point of reversal. So now I'm going to get rid of all these. And we can see that when highs are increasing and lows are increasing, they're all moving up, it's an uptrend. But when they're decreasing, it's a downtrend. And that between uptrends and downtrends, there is a point of reversal where there's a low point, low point, low point, and then price doesn't make any lower lows. It starts making higher lows. Then there's a pullback, and that low is higher. So if this low was lower, then we would have a downtrend continuation, but we didn't. And then we see that the high up here, from that higher low, came up to form an equal or higher high, came down to form a higher low, equal or higher high, higher low, and that trend continued for some time. If we're not making higher lows or higher highs, then we are in a consolidation. So that's an uptrend and a downtrend. We see lower lows make a downtrend, lower lows and lower highs, and higher highs and higher lows make an uptrend. And if we have a wedge like we do here on Ondo, well, those are descending too, but we pay attention to this blue line here. These are Actually, I think I might have a better picture on Metis right now. Okay, yeah. So Metis, we have these highs are descending, while these lows are ascending. So that's a wedge. We see that's a classic wedge. So different scenarios will give us different structures. But anyway, that is the uptrend and downtrend there. So now we're looking back to how that ties back to the chart patterns here. The first one we're going to be looking at, if you can spot, is going to be right here. So this one isn't going to be as picture perfect. And like I said, some of them aren't going to be. We have a different example that we'll be able to take a look at. But remember, this is also going to be a reversal pattern. So sometimes they can exist within different larger structures as a macro, but we want to pay attention to why I'm going to be using the short-term EMA cross. And it's not necessary to observe the head and shoulders pattern. I just want you to be able to see what it looks like for the reversal. Because here we have systematically, mathematically, a downtrend. Moving averages are going downwards. Prices are straying down. And then at the end of this, they cross over. So it's a reversal pattern that we're looking at. Now, here we can see price drop down. And like I was telling you, it made a lower low, came up, made a higher high, comes down, makes a lower low. Comes up, lower high. Finally, we see a higher low. So that's the point right here where we're looking, all right. That is this point right here. Boom. So this one's a little slanted, but this is 0.5. And then we're looking for a break of that neckline. So when we use this tool to draw, no matter how knick-knack or willy-whack it is, it'll give us a neckline. So if it was to penetrate there, if it didn't penetrate in this case, it wouldn't fill. So I have the tool drawn here, and I'll just go ahead and take it off there. We can draw it again. And what it would look like if we saw this in real life. So you don't know it's a head and shoulders until after it occurs, obviously, but you have to speculate on the probability that it will develop in your favor. So when we see this condition, we're saying, oh, okay, price could possibly shoot here to this point because this is where it started. So we'll be looking for something of that nature based off of what we've identified. And then again, to set up that position, this is a reversal, so we'd want to go long here. We're seeing an inverse. So then we're going to try and set up our entry right here at level 5. I'm sorry, at level 6, right after we observe 5, which is going to be the neckline. Because remember, the neckline doesn't have to be parallel. In some cases, it will be, parallel, perpendicular, horizontal, excuse me, not parallel. Parallel means never touching. Horizontal, perpendicular. So this one is not a perfect horizontal slant. And remember me, maybe I had too many 40 ounces, I'm feeling a little good, so I'm slumped. I'm still head and shoulders. I still have a neckline. So here we have a slumped neckline. And this one's even upside down. So I must have been drinking a lot for me to be really upside down like that. But in any case, we're looking to take the entry right there at 6. And the stop loss should be right behind 5. So you can put it at that level or just below. And then you can target up to that high there, as long as we see 1-to-1, or some of this other market structure, depending upon what is going on in the market at the time. And we can see, there we go. That is exactly set up how we need it to be. Entry at 6, stop loss below 5, targeting up. And then as we can see, I picked these out for the lesson clearly. I was looking for good examples so that we could see what it looks like. You never know what is going to flourish into. So, after the identification comes trade management, risk management, emotional management, understanding different market structures, because you could have used all of these here as different take profit targets. That and that and that, and on and on and on. So I'm not going to go into all of that today, just looking at structures, but there's one example. So we're going to look at a couple more examples. Oops, maybe I shouldn't have done that because I took it away. But anyway, we're going to look at, there it is, a couple more examples before we close out of here. And right now I'm going to jump back. So I'm going to be jumping back and forth to the comments. So drop your questions if you have any while I'm talking, and I'll review them periodically. So we're going to try and get through this. All right, let's check out. I'm going to take a drink of water real quick too. So if you have a question, drop it in and we'll check them out. All right. One question only. Hey, can you also break down cup and handle pattern in this live stream? Usman, no, I got cup and handle on a different live stream. So today we're just looking at head and shoulders patterns, brother. I actually have another private appointment scheduled here in a little bit. So I got to make sure that I get to that appointment on time. But don't fear. I'm definitely going to have the content to pump out for you guys. So make sure you tune in on other weeks. And last week, if you tuned in through the whole session, we gave away a 2-week alpha pass. This week, I'm not going to be giving away any free candy. But next week, again, I'm going to be giving another 2-week alpha pass away at the end of the stream. So if you can sit through that, we'll be looking at different formations and even drop some prizes. So that'll work out for you, brother. Just exactly how you need it to. All right, moving forward, we're going to go look at another token. I think Link was the one that I had there. No? Where was it? Was it in Litecoin? Excuse me one moment. Man, I could have sworn I had another one there. Okay, well, we can look at theta if my chart will allow me. All right, there we go. I could have sworn I had another one in Link, guys, so that we could see what the upwards look like. Super sorry. I don't know where it's gone now. So I won't try to dig around for it. I'll just go ahead and show you this theta one that I had. We got another inverse, unfortunately. I swear, I thought I had the other one in Link. After I show you this one, I'll look around for another moment because I could have sworn I had another one picked out for us. But looking back here, we see a little bit more cleaner. So the last one we had was slanted. It still worked. You know, we're not always going to get a perfect opportunity in nature. We're just going to have to take what we can get. But here we can see this one was a little bit better. Now, one thing that I wanted to talk about this one was that this doesn't look like it's a reversal pattern. It looks like it's a continuation because it exists in a larger uptrend. But it's still a reversal of the smaller macro downtrend. So that's why sometimes I wanted to use I always use the EMAs to trade. But I wanted to include these two EMAs for you to see the dynamic between short-term uptrend and downtrend. So while we're looking at here, if I turn off the head and shoulders pattern, we're seeing that retrace. So we're seeing prices making higher lows and higher highs. It stops making them, comes down, starts making lower lows and lower highs. And then we see price break out here. Boom, forming a little bit of a shoulder. It's a tight little shoulder there. Maybe it's a dummy shoulder. Maybe it's an amputee. I don't know. It's a small little shoulder there. And then we get the break of the neckline. So really, on this one, we would have been targeting something like this. We have the break of that line, a stop loss right below that shoulder, and then a take profit target up to that level there. And we didn't really have any other market structure telling us price was going to go up outside of this level here. So when if we were looking at that live and betting on this, that price was going to break up, okay, then we're looking at this level, obviously, for a take profit target. Is where we want to set up to. And because price entered from right there, and that's obviously resistance. So we're going to try and target there. But then outside of that, next market structure would be like over here. So we would have to try to target that level. And that's pretty high. And if I was honestly looking at this for a trade, I really would not try to take that based off of what's happening here. But, lo and behold, that one actually did play out quite well. It filled out way further than that original break was because we were really only expecting it to go up to this point, which is where it began. So that one would have satisfied really well. Like I said, I really wouldn't have taken it. Even so, we would have had more information, so that market structure would have been passed because this head and shoulders really only allows you to bet on that next stretch, which is going to be this part. All right, so you guys try and pile up some questions for me real quick while I can see if something might have happened to, yeah, there it is. I got it. There it is. Okay, cool. All right, we're going to look at the other side because we've seen two upside down ones. Now we're going to go ahead and see a regular one, so we could just take a look at how that works, and then we'll go back to the questions before we wrap it up here. All right, so this one again, we have a little bit of a breaky head and shoulders pattern, but it's still, like I said, this is what we're going to be actually observing in nature. So we see the EMA cross coming up, and then it crosses down. One more time too on that theta. Remember, crossing down, crossing up. So that's the reversal right there. Boom, reversal. Was a downtrend, uptrend, reversal, nailing. All right, same thing here. Moving up, moving down. So we're looking to bet onto this point. I could even back it up one more candlestick. That'd be stellar. Just got a message. Make sure it's not Mr. Gray to the B to the C to the moon. And it's not. All right. So here we go. Bada boom, bada bing. We see price come up, make a higher high, higher low. Cool. That's an uptrend. Uptrend. Price moves forward. Uh-oh. Concerning. We'll pay attention. If it's not a higher high, could be a head and shoulders. All right. Boom. Having that break there. Boom. Not a higher high. Set it up. Project it. Where did it enter from? Could argue it came from here. Could argue it came from here. In any case, we could set up multiple take profit targets. It could be one there and one here. And then we're going to short the break. So now our stop loss is going to be right at that shoulder at the level of 5. And our take profit target is going to be somewhere on this market structure based on different points, that were active. So we want to at least target 1-to-1. And if we can get that, then we're all right. That's 1-to-1 there. We can even bring it up a little bit better, make it 1.5. Bada boom, bada bing. We're in business. And then we just wait, boom, bada bing, and see how it goes out for us. So again, other times, sometimes we see where it satisfies entirely, even to some other different levels. And here we saw where price just shot through. There was no retest. So sometimes, every time really, it's going to be different. We're not always going to get it's not always going to be a perfect structure like that where we didn't have the retest opportunity either, because sometimes price could do something like that. So you never know how it's going to be presented to you in nature. I want you to be able to be aware of what it looks like. And then after that, it's going to come down to different things like trade management, which is something we teach at Crypto University. You can book a 1-to-1 with me or with Gray, a mentorship even too. We have singular calls. If you just want to call to maybe what you're doing, you just want to touch up on some of your skills, we do that. If you have no idea what you're doing and you want to be a full-time trader, we offer that as well. If you are inclined to learn on your own, we also offer courses. We teach everything, bro. Everything from beginners, blockchain, mining, DeFi, trading. So whatever you guys need to know, we'll teach you stuff like this. Just want to put you guys on game, help everybody make money like that. So we'll go through the comments one more time, see what we got going on here, and we'll bid our salutations. Let's see. Ryan Gabriels. Hey, man, Ryan Gabriels, what's up? Last week winners in the chat. What's up, G? Hope you're enjoying your stay with the Alphas, bro. I didn't see you at the trading session yesterday. I didn't see you. We had a trading session in the Alpha group right before I came here. I left the Alpha trading session, and we were talking about taking a trade on Ondo here. It looks like that setup may not be coming to fruition, but you would know that if you were in the group. So you got that pass, bro. You better be using it. Better see you more active in the Alpha group, because I'm sure there's a bunch of people here who would love to use it. Come on down, brother. We got more events tomorrow, having a Q&A in the Alpha group. Oh, wait, no, that's not tomorrow, is it? Yeah, tomorrow's a Q&A, and then a lesson on bots on Friday. So Ryan Gabriels, last week's winner. Hope you're there. And everyone else, if you want to be an Alpha member too, that's also on the table, man. We're educating everybody out here. So Usman says, which time frame are you currently using? That's a good question. And Usman, on this chart, it's the 1 hour. On the link chart, it just so happened to be the 1 hour as well. And on the theta chart, I found that one on the 15 minutes. So you can find them on many different time frames. You can find them on the 1 minute, 5 minute, 15, 1H, 4H, 1 day. I don't know, maybe 1 week. I don't think I've personally ever seen any on 1 week time frame, but I don't spend a lot of time there either. So maybe you could, but yeah, you can find them on a lot of different time frames. Definitely daily and below. It doesn't have to be set to any specific time frame. Flag Thoski says, if I have two OB on the higher time frame and the second one has been touched and respected, which should I expect next to be touched in order to get in for a long and short position? Man, brother, you can never really tell based in a vacuum. So, like, if you take that information and just isolate it, it's going to be hard to make a decision off of. But, like, for example, I'm already staring at this theta screen right here. So I will look, for example, I'll just zoom out a bit. So we can see that theta was in some type of wedge here. So I had pre-existing information that theta was going. I was actually trading this on a different time. I don't want to change time frame now because it's going to reset the damn chart, and I don't want to do that. But anyway, we can see here that this was a structure, and on a larger time frame, it was a little bit more visible. But even on smaller time frames, you know, that's how it happens. There's different macro structures. So we had a falling. I'll make it make more sense. We had one of my other favorite structures. If it would show the damn thing on the screen. All right, there we go. Falling wedge. So we had this falling wedge, right? Boom. If I change to the 1H time frame to fit it all in there, then it's going to reset my chart. And I just don't want to deal with that right now. But right here, we can see falling wedge. So the larger time frame showed a falling wedge. And then if we zoom in here, we're working with that inverse head and shoulders, which shows a reversal of that downtrend. So we had an attempted breakout, a downtrend, attempted breakouts right here. Boom, retest, boom, retest, boom, retest, all failures. Came back into the falling wedge. It re-entered the structure. Tried to break out again, re-entered again. Broke out again. Boom. So here's a final retest of the breakout, which also so happened to be that pattern, inverse head and shoulders. So that would have given us more confirmation to go long on the breakout of that falling wedge, having that target. And I actually did take a trade here on theta. These were my other targets. As you can see, I have a bunch of other drawings here. So these were other targets based on other highs, based on market structure. And so now I'll exit out of that. And we can see that took longer to fulfill, that rising wedge, because it took longer to, obviously, it took longer to form, took longer to fulfill. But that head and shoulders gave me the opportunity to enter long there because I had knowledge of all these different market structures and I used them in combination with each other. So then too, if I would have turned on different indicators like ADX, MACD, RSI, I would have had more information. So we see a bullish divergence here and then price making a higher low after a bullish divergence. Yeah, man, that screams reversal all day long. So having an understanding of these things can add up to making good decisions. Whereas you never know if you're just literally looking at candlesticks. I mean, they do tell a story and you can gather the information from them, but you have to, those are the things you have to understand. It's either in an uptrend, so you want to try and go long, or it's in a downtrend, so you want to try and go short, or it's in a consolidation. Those are the only three phases that exist. So you have to pick, is it in one of those? And remember, the reversal comes in between. It's not an actual phase of the market. It's market can uptrend, the market can downtrend, or the market can consolidate. So, you know, the reversal is, it's like the reversal is what happens whenever you, that middle itty bitty moment when you're breathing in and you breathe out. Right? Okay, that's the reversal. All right, so, you know, the reversal is a moment in time we can capitalize on. That's what's happening here. So having information about that will allow you to make educated decisions. Let's see here. Uzman say, hey, Deadly, what do you think is a wick break? So there's a lot of different things that can happen in the market with like wicks. So normally like a big wick here, this kind of broke a small resistance, not a big resistance here, but just for a quick example, just something that was immediately on the screen, a little bit of resistance here. So then we can see a wick break. Wick broke past it. So it showed that people were interested, buyers were interested in taking price up there, but then sellers showed dominance. In this particular example, if it was on the bottom side, then it would be the opposite. But right here, there's a little bit of resistance. Sellers were trying to show that they were holding this line. Buyers were like, hey, we're stepping in, we're charging. And then sellers like sent back up. They had reinforcements ready to deploy. Boom. But it exhausted them. And buyers showed a different support level here. They showed support at a different level. So the buyer said, hey, we're sending our reinforcements too. Sellers are like, oh shit, they're coming in hot. Boom. Break that resistance line. It flips. For a moment, anyway, that one flipped. But then we can see there at the top of the wick, we had more resistance. So the resistance kicked in here. That was their front line. It's like a battle, bro. It's like a war. You know, we're trying to make progress in each situation. So they failed to hold the line there, got pushed back until, another time later in the future. So there you go. There's that one. We got a couple more questions on the screen. Oh, all from my boy Ryan Gabriel's last week's winner. So we'll take these questions from Mr. Gabriel's, and then we'll go ahead and get on out of here. I'll leave my screen up just in case I need to explain something again. We'll see. I'll go back to my Head and Shoulders feature. All right. So we'll see. Mr. Brian Gables, what you got? Hey, man, I was at work, man, homie, but I am personal friends with Gray. He used to stay at my apartment in 2017, but I work for him now. Hey, that's what's up, bro. I mean, I understand work, sometimes gets in the way. So all good. Just try and be as active as you can. Even say, what's up, guys? Like, I tell this to literally everybody. I know you poop. When you go poop, pull out your phone. Don't go on Instagram or TikTok for me. Come to Discord. What's up, guys? How are y'all? Easy. I know you poop. So try and hit me up on the pooper. That's fine. I don't care if you hit me up on the pooper. Pull out your phone. Come to the Discord. Every single one of you watching this stream, or if you're watching this recorded video, stop getting lost in. I'm guilty of it too, but I actually have time designated for when I can go to Instagram Reels. All right. Stop getting lost in the sauce. Come say what's up to you boys. Come hang out with us and build the community. Let me see what else I got to say, Ryan. But I was playing Padel with Gray in South Africa in December last year, but we'll definitely jump on the Alpha Labs. My man. There we go. Alpha Labs. And currently taking my time learning the Web3 Masterclass. My man as well. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in the Web3 Masterclass, so I understand it can take some time. There's literally weeks worth of information in there. So all good, man. Appreciate you coming out to the streams. And I would just love to see some more in the Alpha group. I'd hate for that awesome gift to go to waste. And Flagdowski says, how to join the Alpha group. Bro, there's got to be a link in the description. There is definitely a link in the description. Yeah, it says right there, Alpha group. So if you click that link, should take you to our website, and then you can sign up, man. It's an extension from the Discord. So we have the public group. I've seen you in plenty of public events in the Discord, Flagdowski. I know you. I've seen you there. But the Alpha group is just closed doors where, like I said, we have those live meetings. Well, they're like 5 times. Like I have my Alpha session calendar right here. They're like 5 times a week at least. And definitely each session is more than an hour. Today's trading session was a little over an hour. Yesterday's trading session was like 2.5 hours. So we're always there, man. And literally it's just us in the Discord on the back end. So that's all it is. Link's definitely in the description. Looking at it right now on YouTube. So there we go. All right, fellas. Next week, again, we're going to be doing another Alpha giveaway. So at the end of the stream, this time, all you got was knowledge. So you better be grateful for that because, like I said, this is some good info here. But anyway, next week, we're going to be giving away 2-week Alpha Pass. So if you want to attend the stream, we're going to be giving another lesson. And at the end of the stream, you have an opportunity to join Ryan Gabriel's amongst the Alpha ranks for 2 weeks. See what the hell we got going on back there. Participate in those extra live sessions if you're available, if work doesn't kick your booty. And also, at the end of next week's stream, I'm going to be giving away something additional from a 2-week Alpha Pass, but I'm not going to let y'all know what that is yet. That'll be an extra surprise. So if you guys can come out, and that's going to be from Deadly Crypto. So Crypto University is going to be sponsoring our Alpha giveaway, and I'm going to be sponsoring something else to give you guys. So hope you guys appreciated the lesson today. I'll make myself big and pretty before we bid our salutations. All right, guys. It's been your boy, Daily Crypto, coming in on the Crypto Hustle channel. Gray, thank you for having me out here. Even though you weren't on the stream with me today, I really appreciate you letting me come out and educate your audience, teach them a little bit more about crypto. I think it's really important that we get the people the power to make money from anywhere in the world so that we can all be not only financially free, but geographically free. Hate being tied down to a physical location to have to make an income, trying to enlighten everybody. And Gray, one more time, thanks for giving me that opportunity to enlighten everyone, because my platform is nowhere near as big as this one. Thanks for having me again, guys. The audience is always, always amazing here. You guys are what makes this possible. Thanks for having me. Gray to the B to the C to the Moon's audience, Mr. Crypto Hustle's audience. We'll see y'all later.